Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett. I'm your host, Bridgett Ellison. Happy New Year to you on this second day of January 2024. Hope that you got through the holidays with lots of cheer. And, we're getting back into the swing of things. At least I know I am. And when that alarm clock went off this morning, it was definitely a wake-up call for the year. So we're back at it. Hopefully you are too. The time now 7:30. Right here on News 6 Plus and clickorlando.com. And we're looking forward to a great week so far. We started off much cooler this morning than we did yesterday morning with the new year. But meteorologist Candace Campos has all those details. And are you? Oh, there you are. So you're still. Hey, I can't wait to hear all the updates. I know you said you ate your grapes.
I did. We ate our grapes. I did find out about the under the table thing that you talked about earlier. It's a Spaniard tradition. I'm Spaniard, so I should be doing it under the table. I should be eating grapes under the table.
Okay, but you didn't do it this time yet?
I didn't. No.
Okay.
You're trying to wrangle two kids who are so sleepy, and you got to drink the champagne and the grapes and the this and the fireworks going off.
Now you had a little bit of fireworks mishaps. We've had that before, but you were telling me this morning that there was a bit of a meltdown over some of the fireworks.
It's just when the kids get tired, they're trying to stay up till midnight. At one point, we had the entire family. They were dancing because I was like, "Come on, get up! We gotta stay awake!" And they're all dancing with their pillows. So, they were tired. But what can you do? It's midnight.
I know.
They're 6 years old and 3 years old.
Oh, I know. We had some mishaps with 4th of July fireworks, so we opted to just watch everything on TV this year. But it was nice. Yeah. I mean, I dozed off when they broke in with local news and then went back to the show at around 11. So then my husband's trying to wake me up. And so I was being all grumpy, but I did wake up in time for the count about 15 minutes before the ball dropped. So, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
The kids stayed up. I didn't do the fake countdown with them this year.
It's not fake, Bridgett.
Wink.
I know.
The earlier countdown that you can do.
We've done that. We've watched old countdowns from the year before early as well. So, you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you just want some peace and quiet and ring in the new year, you know.
And I put my earplugs in after I turned all the lights out.
It was like a war zone. There was like,
I know.
For hours after.
And then it's like for a few more days, you'll still hear a few random pops out there.
Yeah, I heard them last night too.
Right.
But the good news is we don't have to worry about fog and fireworks smoke like we did New Year's Day. My goodness, it was foggy and smoky. It was almost that super fog when you get smoke and fog kind of mixed in. But today it is all about the cool down, Bridgett. So yesterday we hit a high of 71, 72. Today we're going to be staying around 62. So about 10 degrees cooler. Yes, as we take
feeling it.
So planning out your forecast for this afternoon, it's going to be about by 3 p.m. we'll be in the low 60s. We're looking mostly sunny across central Florida. So just a really nice outlook. So as we get results here, I want to show you the 7-day first because we are going to see a bump in rain chances this week. So sweater weather, jacket worthy kind of day today. As we head into your Wednesday, you see there's a 20% on Wednesday and a 50% there on Thursday. That doesn't mean it's going to be raining for the next 2 days. What this is showing is that we are going to see an increasing chance for rain in the forecast very late Wednesday night and through Thursday morning, which is why we have that about 50% chance of rain. Then on Saturday late afternoon and into the evening, we'll see another bump in those rain chances because of another front. But lows later on tonight, we are starting off right now in the 40s and 50s. Later on tonight, we'll be down to the 30s and 40s. So it will be a little colder later on tonight. But look at that, taking a live look outside. Port Canaveral, which is a beautiful shot there. There's the allure of the seas there, 56 degrees. But it is going to be a breezy afternoon today, especially along our coastline. So there goes that first of 3 fronts that we're going to see today, which is why today is going to be a cooler day than yesterday. Right now we're in the 40s and 50s across central Florida, but again, even colder later on today. Later on tonight, we're running right now between 4 and 14 degrees colder this morning than yesterday. I just showed you this graphic, but I want to tell you about the arrival of our next couple fronts. So again, today it's going to be cool. Tomorrow will start to warm up, and then that front comes through. You can see the timing is more like 6 a.m. on Thursday. So the majority of our rain will be coming through while many people are still asleep before you head out for work and school tomorrow, Thursday morning. Then we'll see a little cool down come Thursday. We'll be back into the 60s. Then we'll warm up Friday and Saturday ahead of our next front. But look at the timing of that front. That's going to be more late Saturday afternoon and into the evening. You can see a little more of those heavier, darker shades, indicating the potential for some strong, severe storms for that Saturday front. So let me show you one more time. So for today, it's going to be the coolest day of the week. The rain comes in late Wednesday night and into Thursday morning if you have any plans outside. Then it looks like our next chance of rain, will be more of a widespread chance, as well as a stronger threat for some strong to severe storms come Saturday. So no real, I joked about it on the morning news today. That's more like a kiddie roller coaster. We'll go up and down a couple times, but it's nothing drastic. We're not going from 50s to 70s back down to 50s. We're not doing any of that. So it's just going to be just a little up and down trend, sprinkling in some rain in the forecast for the next couple days. So today was one of 3 fronts to ring in the first week of the new year. Yeah.
What's the outlook for us here, over the next couple months now that we're officially in winter, but, we are in Florida and we're in, a different pattern this year. Do we have like a certain gauge of that yet?
Yeah, so the modeling, especially with an El Nino year, it looks like it's going to be more of a wetter winter, but that doesn't mean it's going to automatically mean it's going to be much colder. But we are looking at a couple more cold blasts coming through January and February. So the trend looked like January, February was going to be colder than like a December. So we're starting to trend that way. So hopefully personally, I love the cool weather. Bring it on. I love January and February. Those are kind of my 2 favorite months of the year. So, it looks like we will be trending colder. It just might come with a little more rain and storms, just like what we're going to be dealing with this week.
So we're looking at a little bit more chance for frost.
Oh, could be. Yeah, we could see. I don't know if we're going to see, it's not a guarantee that we'll see like a freeze this year, but certainly the next couple weeks we'll have our best shot of it. So we'll see.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
It helps kill the mosquitoes if we have a good freeze here in Central Florida. So.
I love that.
Me too.
All right. Thank you, Candace.
You're welcome.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Well, Trooper Steve is off right now, and we want to get to a few headlines this morning to get you caught up on some news for the year. One in particular that will affect all of us out here on the roads is an adjustment to the move over law. If you're not familiar, there is an existing law that requires us to move over for law enforcement or tow trucks working on the side of the road. You need to move over a lane. And if you can't move over, you need to significantly slow down as you approach those vehicles on the side of the road. But now they have expanded it to include most stopped vehicles on the side of the road. So Emily McLeod is here with more about this major change with the Florida law that you'll want to know about as you head out on the roadways.
According to Florida Highway Patrol, there were 176 crashes throughout the state in 2023 that came as a result of people failing to move over when there was a car stopped on the side of the road. Now, 9 of those crashes resulted in serious injury. We spoke to Florida Highway Patrol Lieutenant Tara Krasinski, and she says she feels the changes are necessary to make sure everyone is safe on the road. How important is it that the legislature decided to include civilians and just normal cars into this grouping now, too?
With the crashes and the data that we've seen, these are preventable crashes, and they not only take our officers away from their families, but also takes members from our communities.
Florida's expanded move over law now requires drivers to move over for stopped vehicles that are displaying warning or hazard lights, using emergency flares or emergency signage, or if they are stopped with at least one person present. So how can people safely follow this law?
If you see lights, just move over the lane. If you see lights up ahead on the side of the road, that could be a law enforcement officer coming to a stop. That could be a sanitation vehicle. That could be a tow truck, or it could be a disabled motorist. So just move over the lane. And if you see there's traffic to the left of you and you're not going to be able to move over, or to the right of you, reduce that speed as much as you can. And I know if you see something coming up ahead and your eyes are focused on the road, you should see it coming.
Carlos Figueroa says he found himself needing to change his tire on the side of I-4 on New Year's Eve. He says he's glad to see the move over law get expanded.
Because, those cars are coming very fast, and you don't know, people distracted with the cell phone or the radio. So you want to be sure you're okay when you're doing that situation. You are in that situation.
For more information on crash statistics and the new law, you can head over to our website, clickorlando.com. In Seminole County, Emily McLeod, Getting Results, News 6.
So make sure you spread the word on that one. We have some breaking international news this morning out of Japan. They have really been rocked pretty hard. They had a very serious earthquake, but we just received some more breaking news this morning about a plane in Tokyo packed with almost 400 passengers. It caught fire on the runway after hitting a Japanese Coast Guard plane that was also on the runway at the time. And the larger jet burst into flames. And we learned this morning that nearly 400 people on board that larger jet got out safely. But sadly, 5 crew members on the Coast Guard plane that was hit during all of this were found dead. So we're continuing to watch for updates on this very sad story out of Tokyo Airport this morning. And again, they already had big breaking news with a massive 7.6 earthquake strike on New Year's Day, and nearly 50 people have been confirmed dead in that tragedy. Tsunami warnings were in effect, but there are aftershocks still being felt, which have forced residents to evacuate. So a lot going on there overseas in Japan this morning. We have another big story from over the weekend here near Disney, where special dive team unit was able to solve a very cold case. A woman, a mother, had been missing nearly a dozen years, and they finally found her vehicle and what is strongly believed to be her remains in a pond near Disney over the weekend. Ezzy Castro has more.
We got her. We got her. God, it's so good. God, you are so good.
Video shows the moment divers with a Sunshine State sonar found what they believe is the body of Sandra Lemire. She went missing more than a decade ago, but on New Year's Eve, her car with remains inside was found in a retention pond on I-4 near Disney.
This stuff wasn't available in 2012. Back then, law enforcement would send divers in the water and with zero visibility, just swimming around, feeling around, hoping to bump into a vehicle.
Mike Sullivan explained his team helps find people who disappear near bodies of water, but says in this case, it was a cell phone ping from Lemire's phone that led them to that area.
Without the information Orlando police gave, I believe we would not have had resolve in this case.
At this point, Orlando police have not confirmed the remains belong to Lemire, but her son told News 6 he's confident it's her.
Maybe she had a diabetic attack. Maybe she got mugged. Maybe she got robbed. I wake up damn near every day thinking, like, what happened? You know what I mean, to her. It just blows my mind that she was actually found.
And so we will keep you updated as more revelations are made in that case, but at least they have partial closure now, having found her final resting place. So we will keep you updated on the story of Sandra Lemire. Now, it has been a busy bowl season in Central Florida, and, we've been covering all these bowls in Orlando, and the City Beautiful has hosted 3 so far from the college football postseason, and we will wrap it up with our 4th but not least bowl here, the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. Now, Tennessee dominated Iowa 35-0 in front of more than 43,000 fans at Camping World Stadium, and many of those spectators came from out of town. Local officials said the bowl games could bring in a total of $100 million for Central Florida's economy. News 6 spoke with some fans about their decision to come to Orlando for the big bowl game.
What does it got to have in order for you to want to come?
Hospitality, just some nice, we're here to spend money, and, Tennessee people spend quite a bit of money to follow these
It was funny. He's having a good time. But, it is a fun time if you can go out for a bowl game. And, you know, Orlando's not a bad place to take a trip, and you have some other things you can check out while you're here. Now, we're also getting ready for the next big football game at Camping World Stadium, the NFL Pro Bowl, set for February 4th. So we're not done yet. Now, if you'd like to save some money and you need some school supplies, we, for the first time ever in Florida, are offering a second tax break for school supplies. It kicked off yesterday, and it includes many items, not just supplies, like clothing, shoes, computers. So if you still have some things you need for school or for your students in your family, this is a good time to stock up on those things. The last back-to-school sales tax holiday happened in late July, so now here we are in January with a new one. According to Florida Retail Federation, both sales tax holidays are expected to save Floridians more than $160 million in taxes. So every little bit helps us out here. We can check out a full listing and breakdown of the items included and how it all works on clickorlando.com. It's important to know those limits because sometimes you need to split up your purchases in order to get the full bang for the buck. The sales tax holiday wraps up on January 14th, so make your plans now. Want to take a quick break? We'll be right back. All righty, we are back now with more Breakfast with Bridgett, and we want to take you out to something fun to do. Maybe if you're still looking for some activities to do while the kids are out of school, or maybe you're still taking some vacation. This is an awesome trip for the day out to the Orlando Wetlands. It is, you know, one of these places that is not that far away. It's in the Christmas area, and Crystal Moyer takes us there and shows us what the attraction offers.
So this hidden gem is not just an outdoor attraction, but serves an important purpose for surrounding communities.
And there's a little bit of a step here. You got it? First time to the Wetlands Park? Yes. Good.
My third time.
Third time.
I love
okay.
this place.
Paul is a volunteer leading free tram tours here at Orlando Wetlands Park.
You know, most of us take what we see out in our backyards for granted.
Riding along the more than 1,600 acres of wetlands, visitors can't help but to appreciate the beauty of nature.
So if you look to the left, we've got one of our medium-sized gators.
You're bound to see what may feel like an infinite number of different animals, plants, and breathtaking views. Beth Alderson visiting from Palm Bay with her family.
Being out in nature and seeing all the birds and the water's beautiful. It's just a beautiful environment.
But Wetlands Park is not here just for looks. It was man-made in the 1980s with an important job: to clean and treat sewage from the regional water reclamation facility more than 15 miles away.
On a given day, typically we average about 16 to 18 million gallons a day of reclaimed water that's flowing into the wetlands. This is where the water begins a 30-day journey where it slows down, and this is where now all the wetlands and the plants and the microorganisms and all the wildlife begin to utilize and tie up and polish out the excess nitrogen and phosphorus, thereby cleaning the water.
Flowing, crystal clear, attracting vegetation.
Cattails in the background, alligator flag right here. This is spike rush over here. They do a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to polishing out the nutrients that are in the water.
Florida wildlife, as well as visitors from all over.
If they don't want to take the tour, this puts them right in the middle of the habitat.
Paul's talking about the new Cypress Boardwalk that recently opened. It spans about a half-mile long. Snapping pictures, Angie Vasquez is a frequent visitor and says the boardwalk gets her closer to nature.
I think it's a good way for people to actually interact with the animals and not be too close, and it's less intimidating.
It cuts right across probably the most wildlife abundant stretch, as far as I can see, of the entire wetlands.
Orlando Wetlands Park offers free tram tours Friday, Saturday, and Sunday between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. I posted more information on the Cypress Boardwalk and Orlando Wetlands Education Center on clickorlando.com/insider. In the studio, Crystal Moyer, Getting Results, News 6.
So who knew? That looked fun. I did feel a little scared when I saw the gator so close to that golf cart, but hopefully it's got some speed to it if need be. All right. You know, there are so many places to have fun staycations around here, and, you know, great places to go if maybe you're trying to make some suggestions for people who are coming to visit, friends or family. Now we have one more option, a new 17 million gallon artificial lagoon surrounded by the Evermore Resort, now officially open. This was a $1.5 billion project. Just look at it. It is gorgeous. It's newly built and it is right next to Walt Disney World at the site of the former villas at Grand Cypress. So if you remember that, that's like right off of 535, and it includes amenities like the lagoon, golf courses, dozens of restaurants. I remember going out here when this was still a construction site and sort of wandering in there, wondering what they were doing. So now it is all done. And one of the resort's architects said the goal was to create a community living inside of a resort feel. So let's take a look.
The goal there was not unlike the way we create neighborhoods like Oakland Park. It's really about creating a community. We've moved all the automobiles to the rear of the homes. The community is very walkable, whether you're going to the hotel for dinner, the beach club, or whether you're just trying to walk to the lagoon and to the pool.
Very beautiful what they have done there. So if you want to check it out, guests can stay in the villas and the vacation homes. So put that on your list. Evermore Resort. Maybe that's your next staycation. Well, we talked about parks, and we want to mention something fun that happened at Delon Springs State Park. They held the Delon Dunk. I think I told you about this. It's sort of like a polar plunge, except the springs are 72 degrees year round, but you can see the steam coming off of it compared to the temperatures outside. So there was a contrast in temperatures there. That's why you see the steam, but it was a refreshing 72 degrees, and those who braved it had a nice swim on a cold morning. Again, that was the Delon Dunk for New Year's Day at Delon Springs State Park. So it looks like everyone had a good time. They're smiling. We want to get to another story. This one takes us to Melbourne Beach, where people are talking about the traffic. There are some renewed safety concerns in a busy stretch of the highway there after a deadly crash. A 36-year-old woman was killed when troopers say her motorcycle hit the back of a pickup truck along A1A at Moonlight Drive on Sunday, just south of Spessard Holland Park in Melbourne Beach. Now, James Barbero spoke to a retired paramedic who rushed in to help with this horrible situation.
I'm standing where the scene of the crash happened yesterday, just before noon. I'm with Mark Lowell. Mark Lowell was a paramedic, where he's from in Canada originally. And Mark, you live so close to where this happened. A1A is just behind us here. And you were telling me that you actually heard the impact from your house. Can you just take us back, tell us what happened, what your experience was trying to get to the scene and help?
Okay. We heard the crash and we heard people yelling right away. I went to my truck and grabbed my first aid kit. There was other cars that were stopping, but no one was actually accessing the patient. I went directly to her.
Mark's heroic efforts would be on the surveillance from the Shell gas station next to the Melbourne Beach Mobile Home Park. Management gave me the video, but because state troopers say the 36-year-old woman from Vero Beach driving the Harley died, we're not going to show you the collision. This is a still frame just before state troopers say she failed to slow down and hit this red pickup truck that was coming to a stop in traffic. Since the crash, one of Mark's neighbors wrote to us, raising their concerns about the intersection.
You really want to be on your toes crossing the highway here because you just never know what's going to happen.
With the gas station and mobile home communities on both sides of the highway, some people I talk to are hoping the State Department of Transportation will make changes.
You could slow the speed down, you could put flashing lights for crosswalks, but you've got people that obviously don't follow the rules of the road or follow the rules of safety in their vehicles.
In Melbourne Beach, Brevard County, I'm James Sparvero, Getting Results News 6.
So we'll be following that, and I'm sure James will keep us updated if any more comes out of those concerns about that area of the highway in Melbourne Beach. Before we go, we want to wrap up on a sweet note with the New Year's baby news from here in Central Florida. And we had a couple bundles of joy ring in the new year and get here just in time to be New Year's babies. First up is the very first newborn at Advent Health just after 8 minutes after midnight. Meet Jose Umahag IV, and his parents there are both nurses at Advent Health Waterman. Just look at how sweet. He just looks like a doll. Not far behind at Winnie Palmer Hospital for Women and Babies, Milo Phillip there wrapped up in the blankie at 1:20 a.m. And we should say that Milo's family gets a year's supply of diapers for being the first baby born at Winnie. So that's a pretty sweet deal. And what a fun birthday for these babies to have. So a great start to the new year for them. We hope you're also off to a great start. We're out of time now. We hope to see you again back here for more Breakfast with Bridgett tomorrow at 7:30. Make it a great day.